Hey everyone, this is John Gravino. Welcome to the latest edition of Soul Science. This is episode 16, and today we're going to be talking about some news coming out of Medjugorje. If you don't know where Medjugorje is or what Medjugorje is, it is the site of an ongoing series of apparitions from the Blessed Virgin Mary. In fact, they are the longest running continuous apparitions ever in the history of the church, going on 43 years. In fact, this June 25th will be the 43rd anniversary of Mary's apparitions in that part of the world, what is now the country of Bosnia-Herzegovina. My wife and I visited there 23 years ago in Christmas of 2000 to January of 2001. And in other places, I have spoken about the amazing events that took place there. Truly miraculous things are continuing to happen at Medjugorje. Not just to the visionaries, there are 6 of them, but also to the pilgrims that go there. So if you haven't been, I recommend that you pay a visit to the place. But stuff is happening in Medjugorje. This is the news update of the latest events, and I want to get you up to speed. Normally, you can follow along my bullet points on the screen here. Normally, the Blessed Virgin Mary, BVM up here for an abbreviation, appears to one of the visionaries on a daily basis, Maria. Okay? And that apparition is a public apparition. Anyone can go to it who happens to be in the neighborhood. And it normally happens at 6:40 p.m. every day. Okay? So back on June 15th, the Blessed Mother said, forget about it. No, she didn't. She said that she was canceling the 6:40 apparition, and not really canceling it, but moving it to 11:30 p.m. Okay, so that's not really a cancellation, right? She's just moving it to 11:30. Now, 11:30 is kind of late at night. It's always supposed to be at the top of Apparition Hill, which is not the most comfortable place in the world. If you've ever been there, you know it's a one rocky place. And the way these apparitions go is the Blessed Mother generally waits for the pilgrims to say a few decades of the Rosary. So if you're on Apparition Hill, that means knees ground into sharp rocks and stones for a very long period of time. I can tell you from personal experience that it takes divine intervention to be able to endure the ordeal. So anyway, and also late at night, 11:30 p.m. My wife and I did that, actually. My wife and I were up on Apparition Hill, okay, before New Year's Day, okay, on New Year's Eve, right? We climbed Apparition Hill when everybody was in the church, and the reason why was because my wife was pregnant, and she was having a hard time with the crowds. The really dense crowds were difficult for her. She had a fainting spell over at Vitska's house. Vitska's one of the visionaries. And so we were worried about her a little bit. I was actually going to give her an opportunity to sleep, but she was wide awake. And so we took our own little mini pilgrimage up Apparition Hill while everyone was stuffed inside the church. We went up Apparition Hill in time for New Year's, the stroke of midnight. We were up at the top of Apparition Hill, at the quiet part where no one's allowed to talk because there's going to be a sign given there, right? And this was not any ordinary New Year's Eve when we were there, because it turned to January 1st, 2001, which means my wife and I were at the top of Apparition Hill at the turn of the millennium. Okay? The turn of the century and the turn of the millennium. Just a once in a millennium opportunity, right? My wife and I got it. We were at the quiet spot, and we did not come empty-handed. We had our consecration prayers to the Blessed Mother, to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and at midnight, at the stroke of midnight, maybe a few seconds after that, we consecrated ourselves to the Immaculate Heart of Mary at the quiet part at the top of Apparition Hill, right in the middle of the blackness of the night. It was quite an extraordinary experience, quite an extraordinary event to do that. Okay, so I'm kind of reminiscing right now my own time up there in Medjugorje. I've had some experiences just lately that'll knock your socks off. You know, if you saw my Halloween episode about the ghostly, my wife took a picture of me at the site of these martyrs, very serious, a very solemn place. And my wife snaps the picture, and there's this bizarre, strange kind of ghostly appearance behind me. And anyway, I told at Halloween, I decided, to relate the legend of the time about an apocalyptic Mary who shows up dressed all in black. And if you look at the ghostly appearance, it's clearly of a woman dressed all in black. And so I asked whether or not people thought, did any of my viewers think that this might have actually been a picture of apocalyptic Mary? Could this have been Mary photobombing our pictures here? So I was telling some friends at dinner the other night that I got this really bizarre, this bizarre sequence of events happened that seemed to be saying that possibly it's the photo is authentic, kind of, very Juan Diego-ish, picture of the, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what to make of this. I have to pray about, I have to take this to prayer. That's a serious thing, right? I mean, obviously that requires discernment and all that stuff. And if I seem kind of, glib or what have you, it's because, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this, so I'm kind of embarrassingly making light of it. But there's no doubt there was some kind of a message that was pointing to the authenticity of this photograph, and I don't know what to make of it. Is this a fake message? What is this? What's going on here? So maybe I'll get some clarification. I'll have to pray to Mary extra hard or something like that and see if she'll kind of clue me in a little bit better. So, but we're not talking about me today. We're talking about Medjugorje, and we're talking about what's going on in Medjugorje right now. So what happened, this was on June 15th. The Blessed Mother appeared at 6:40 something or other to Maria, one of the six visionaries. I've mentioned two already. Can you name them? One is Maria, spelled with a J. This is Eastern Europe. The other is Vitska. Okay, we were at Vitska's house. That's 2 out of the 6. Anyone know the others? 2 seconds. Okay, time's up. Ivan is another one. Okay. They're 2 boys. Yaakov and Ivan. So 2 boys, 4 girls for a total of 6 Medjugorje visionaries. I've mentioned 2 of the girls, Vidska and Maria. The other is Mirjana. And then the other is Ivana. Is it Ivana or Ivanka? I think it's Ivanka. I get them mixed up with the Trump girl. Sorry. One of them is Ivana. No, that's Trump's wife. And then there's Ivanka, who's the daughter. But those aren't the visionaries. The visionaries are the visionary. And the reason why is because this one is the real reclusive one, right? Like, has anyone ever seen her or anything like that? So I've never actually, I've been I'm sort of a, spilling my water, Medjugorje fan, for a long time. I've been a big Medjugorje fan, and I've seen most of the visionaries, but not Ivanka. Ivanka's starting to sound right. It must be Ivanka. Okay, Ivanka the visionary. Okay, she's number 6. So you've got the 4 girls, Ivanka, Maria, Vidska, and Mirjana. Okay, 2 boys, Yakov and Ivan. That's right, for a total of 6. And I call them boys and girls because the photographs I remember of them are when these things first started, and that was about 43 years ago, and they were kids back then. The oldest ones are my age, right? So they're not so much like kids anymore, right? Yeah, they're fully grown by now. And so anyway, let's get on with the bullet points here. So Maria continues to see the Blessed Virgin Mary daily. They all used to see her daily. Okay? But what happened was the Virgin Mary, BVM, Blessed Virgin Mary, started giving the visionaries secrets. Can you believe it? The Virgin Mary is giving out secrets and she's not telling us. Okay? So she's giving out secrets. Now these secrets are supposedly about the world. Okay? Some of them are punishments. Okay? I don't think they're all punishments, but I could be wrong about that. I'm a little rusty on my Medjugorje facts and figures. Okay? But I'm anyway. So they're getting these 10 secrets. When they finally, she doesn't give them to them all at once, right? She'll give them, she'll throw out one, right? And then, like a year later, remember this has been going on for 43 years, right? This has been going on for 43 years. So if I'm remembering correctly, all right, 4 of the visionaries, 4 out of the 6, have all 10 secrets. What happens when you get the 10th secret, when you get the 10th secret, Mary stops appearing to you daily. Okay? Mary stops appearing to you daily, and then, okay, you only get you get one annual. You get an annual apparition. Normally on some sort of special feast day. So I think Yaakov gets one either on Christmas or Christmas Eve or something like that. And I can't remember all of them. Some of them get them on. Mirjana gets hers on her birthday, which is March 18th. Okay? And I think the others might get them on their birthdays. I'm not sure. One of them, I think, gets it on the anniversary of the apparition. I don't know which, but I can't remember which one that is. Could be Yaakov. I'm not sure. So anyway, I believe there are only 2 left. Right? I believe there are only 2 left they've got 9 secrets, but they don't have the 10th secret. Okay? And since they don't have the 10th secret, they continue to see Mary daily. Okay? And so that's Yvonne and Maria. Okay? They're the only ones that see her daily. All right? And so what happens is, and because of that, I think they have prayer groups that regularly meet with them. And so if you're special enough to belong to the prayer group, then you get to be there during the apparition, And, Mary appears and she'll bless you, and that's very nice. And sometimes she has a little message for the group. Okay, sometimes these get published, sometimes they don't get published, right? So anyway, that's kind of your Medjugorje crash course. There will be a quiz at the end of this. Okay, Mary will mete out your punishment if you don't pass the quiz. I'm just kidding. Let's move on here. So now, Maria, now apparently what happens is on June 15th, the visionary Maria gets this message, right, about the apparitions moving from 6:40 to 11:30 p.m. And Maria apologizes to the group, saying, she apologized for being so emotional. Now, people are concerned about this. People are concerned because Maria seemed visibly shaken, and she apologized for being very emotional. And they're wondering, okay, what could this possibly mean? What did the Blessed Virgin Mary tell her, right? Why was she so shaken? Why was the visionary so upset? It's a good question, right? It doesn't seem to make sense. Well, she's upset that the apparitions got moved. I mean, hey, I'm just joking, right? I have no idea, what's going on. Okay, why? I have no idea why she's upset or anything like that. People have been, speculating. So I'll get to that. So anyway, so I've got some theories, and I'll share those with you in just a second. But anyway, and so Maria is being asked by the Blessed Virgin Mary for everyone to pray and, make sacrifices for peace. Okay. And yeah, so, all right. And then also she's asking for more people to do this. She's the Blessed Virgin Mary is telling Maria and telling all of us, hey, tell all your friends, she's saying, tell everyone, pray for peace, make sacrifices, do penance, fast, right, for peace, okay, and get as many people as you know to do this. All right, so people are thinking that this is why Maria might be upset, and that sounds like a very good explanation. Okay, so is there anything else I wanted to add to this? No, I don't think so. Now, Maria reported, I believe, last night. I think we're on the third night. Oh, a couple of things. So, and these are happening. So Maria, I think, the 640 apparitions were anywhere, right? They could have been in her house or, wherever Maria happened to be. But all of these, the Virgin Mary is saying they have to be at the top of Apparition Hill at 11:30 p.m. And she wants people there when these are happening. And apparently there's been a good turnout. Lots of people, very big crowds are showing up to these apparitions. I wish I could be there. So, but anyway, I'm here, not there. Oh well. And and so Maria is saying, you can see on the screen here, that and the Virgin Mary prays with the visionaries. But this time, in an unusual fashion, the Blessed Virgin Mary is praying in her native ancient Aramaic tongue, okay? And that she's been doing this every night of the novena, this novena that is 9 days leading up to the anniversary of the apparitions. Okay, the 43rd anniversary. Okay, and Maria the Visionary is saying, this is very strange. All of this is unusual. This has never happened before. She's praying in Aramaic. She's doing it every night. We're having, the 640 apparitions have been canceled. They've been changed to 11:30 p.m. at night. 11:30 p.m. It seems very dramatic. It's so dramatic at the middle of the night. Why? What's going on here? This is more demanding, right? It's obviously more demanding to climb to the top of a hill in the middle of the night and to do, say the rosary so late at night. Obviously, a lot is being asked of the pilgrims and of the visionary Maria. So what's going on? Okay. World War III. That's a rumor. It's something I saw people, I think this rumor, and I'm saying this is a rumor, okay? There's nothing that I have seen that Maria has not said this, okay? There is nothing that I can find online that has Maria saying that the Virgin Mary has talked about World War III or anything like that, okay? That's a rumor. And I can't get, there isn't any confirmation that the Blessed Virgin Mary has mentioned World War III or anything like that, or that she's even mentioned a war at all, okay? So, and I'm going to be honest with you, okay, there might be some kind, it could be something like, since there's an emphasis on peace, okay, it makes sense that there could be some, it could have something to do with a violent event in the, not too far off. That's seems to be a reasonable theory, but that could be it, right? Maybe that is what it is. But World War III seems to be a bit of a stretch. I do realize that there are things going on in the world right now that are frightening. Okay, but as I said, I personally don't go for the World War III hypothesis. Okay, so I could be wrong about that, but I want to just say that it's a rumor, and I have not found a strong basis for this rumor. Okay, it seems to really be nothing more than a rumor. Okay, so what do I think then? What's my opinion about all of this? Why is the visionary upset? Why has the Blessed Mother changed the routine up? Why does it seems more serious, right? She's asking for more people to pray. She's asking for more prayers. She's asking specifically, she's emphasizing the need for peace. It is true that the Blessed Mother in recent messages has said that the world is in a very dangerous place and that we need to pray for peace. So the Blessed Mother has said this. Okay. So yes, could this be connected to those things? It could be, right? There could be some sort of violent outbreak, right? Some sort of, military operation or something that the Blessed Mother is worried about. Now, the thing is, we have to remember that one of the common popular titles for the Blessed Mother at Medjugorje, and this is Mary's, according to Mary's wishes, is the Queen of Peace. So peace has always been the Blessed Mother's focus. And there's a good reason for that. I mean, Bosnia-Herzegovina was in the middle of a civil war, back in the day when it was referred to as Yugoslavia, when it was part of Yugoslavia. So of course the title Queen of Peace makes sense when you think about the recent history of that land. But also the Blessed Mother's apparitions have always carried a theme of peace with them, but not always, world peace. Sometimes personal peace in your heart, family peace, peace in the family, and world peace as well. Okay, so peace has been a theme from the very beginning, and so in that respect, things are not that different from the way things have always been. But nevertheless, something does seem to be different. The Blessed Mother has changed things up. The 11:30 at night apparitions at the top of the hill seem to suggest something of a large nature, a large event happening, right? It points to a large event happening in the near future, right? And possibly on June 25th. I mean, this is a novena after all. This is a novena, 9 days of prayer. So the event could be on June 25th. We don't know. Okay, let's move on here. Well, let's say this does have something to do with some kind of conflict, some sort of military conflict, some sort of violence. If this is the case, and the Blessed Mother is asking us to do things, one of the old messages from Medjugorje, from the Blessed Mother, is that with prayer and fasting we can stop wars. So, so if we're supposed to do something, if the Blessed Mother wants us to do things to promote peace, Mary's own formula has been prayer and fasting. And so this has been my own personal, this is what I've been doing. Starting on Monday, I've started a fast that is along the lines of the traditional Orthodox fasting discipline, which is, sort of a vegan or a de-emphasis on animal products, more fruits and vegetables and non-animal products. And this just seems to make sense if, we're concerned about promoting peace and avoiding war, since the Blessed Mother has said in the past that prayer and fasting can stop war. So let's do it. Let's supplement our prayer with some fasting. Today's Wednesday. Today's a fasting day, so I'm fasting today. I've had an English muffin. I did have a couple of cups of coffee, 3 to be exact, and I've been drinking water. So that's what I've been doing, and I'll try to continue. I probably will have another English muffin later on. So, and Wednesdays and Fridays are traditional strict fast days. So, be tougher on yourself on a Wednesday and a Friday. Also, in the Orthodox tradition, and I've written about this elsewhere, there is a fast in the second half of the month of June called the Apostles' Fast, and it's in preparation for the feast of Peter and Paul, which takes place on the Roman calendar on June 29th. In the Orthodox tradition, this feast day is a floating feast, right? It has to do with the events on the calendar of Easter and Pentecost, which are much more variable because the Orthodox follow the Julian calendar. However, in the Roman calendar, the Apostles' Fast, the feast of the Apostles Peter and Paul, is always on June 29th. It's always on June 29th. So, and as I've written before, Leo the Great, I believe it was Leo the Great, when he wrote about, and this goes back, I believe, to the 5th century, when he wrote about the fasting tradition in the Roman Rite, it was identical to the Orthodox fasting schedule that is in place today. So, we in the Roman Rite used to do the Apostles' Fast, so why did we stop it? That's not a good idea. So I've been very interested in reviving this ancient tradition of fasting at the end of June. And so I started my fast the day after Father's Day, right? You gotta celebrate Father's Day, right? But since then I've been going semi-vegan. And even the Orthodox calendar, even though it's vegan, it allows people to have fish on Sundays, and I think maybe one other day of the week. So anyway, so it just makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. The Blessed Mother wants us to make sacrifices for peace, because, and she said that fasting is a good way to do it, and this happens to coincide with the Apostles' fast in preparation for June 29th. So let's do it. Let's do the Apostles' fast. Let's give up animal products. Have fish on Sundays, possibly on Thursdays as well, 2 alleviation days. or maybe Saturday and Sunday. And, do this for the Blessed Mother's intentions in Medjugorje, for her intentions for peace, and also in preparation for June 29th. And also, up your prayer game as well, right? This is what the Blessed Mother's asking. So you should be, the Blessed Mother loves the Rosary. Try to pray the Rosary during this 9-day novena, which is going to end on June 25th, right? That'll be the 10th day, right? 9 days, and then the 10th day is June 25th, which is the anniversary of the Medjugorje apparitions. The 43rd anniversary, to be more precise. So, all right, so what's my opinion on why was Maria so emotional? It could be the announcement of some sort of conflict. That's what some people seem to be thinking. I don't think it's World War III, but it could be something. It could be some sort of military conflict. But I would also say it could be some other things as well. So let's go over it. I don't think it's World War III. Could be some kind of violent event. It could be. But there are other possibilities, and let me run through some of those. I sort of hinted at these other ideas earlier in the show. It could be that the Blessed Virgin Mary told Maria that she would be receiving the 10th secret, right? Maybe she said, on June 25th, you're going to receive the 10th secret, which would mean no more daily apparitions, right? That would be devastating to Maria, right? If you've ever read anything or heard the visionaries talk, these were such special meetings for the visionaries, and Maria has been having daily meetings with our Blessed Mother every day for 43 years. So, Maria and the Blessed Virgin Mary are like this, right? You understand? If the Blessed Virgin Mary told Maria that, she would have been, that would be tough news for her to take, right? But when you consider that this has been going on for 43 years, it's not too difficult to imagine that's what that could be. Now, if that's the case, as I explained earlier in the show, with the other visionaries, once you get the 10th secret, you stop seeing Mary daily, and you only get one annual visit, right? So if that's the case, what if the Blessed Mother told her that? What if the Blessed Mother told Maria, you're not going to have daily apparitions any longer, and you're only going to see me once a year? Well, what would that mean? Think about what that means for a second. The monthly message to the world always comes through Maria, the visionary, okay? And it's always once a month. If Maria no longer receives daily messages and she only sees the Blessed Mother once a year, that would mean the end of the monthly messages for the world. Okay? That would be, if you are devoted to this Medjugorje apparition site, if you're devoted to this, if you have devotion to Our Lady of Medjugorje, to Our Lady Queen of Peace, the idea of the monthly messages ending would be very sad news. You would be very emotional. This is something I don't like to think about. Okay? And so, the last bullet point I've got up on here is let's hope and pray that this is not so, right? I would say that what a blessing it's been to have our Blessed Mother with us for 43 years, giving us these messages, okay? Let me tell you something. My personal conversion, okay, I had a real conversion because of Medjugorje and because of these messages, because of Mary's messages, okay? So I think this is a very big deal, and I think it's sad news. Now, am I saying that this is... No, I'm not saying this has happened. I have no idea, right? I'm just guessing. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I were a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were, my guess before World War III is that this would be something along the lines of Maria receiving the 10th secret, and there being some sort of a change to Maria's, apparition routine with the Blessed Mother. That would be my guess. All right, I think that is a much more likely scenario than World War III. The other reason why is because World War III sounds like a pretty serious chastisement, and since the secrets are these chastisements, are the announcement of chastisements, World War III sounds like a chastisement that would get an announcement, right? We've been told that the announcements come 3 days before the event, right? And that and that there would be an announcement 3 days. In other words, a chastisement, if it's one of the secrets, it has to be announced according to the way this has been explained by the visionaries. Before any secret or chastisement can take place, it has to be announced by one of the visionaries, or actually the priest appointed by the visionary Mariana, 3 days before the event takes place. And furthermore, I believe that Mariana and the priest have to go into they go into some sort of a seclusion and a fast before this announcement is made. So we're not seeing those things happening as far as I know. Okay? So it doesn't strike me to be the revelation of a secret, because it doesn't seem like the things are happening that seem to be necessary in order for a secret to be announced. Okay, so I'm thinking that this might have something to do with Maria receiving the 10th secret. That's just my guess. And there could be more involved than that. If it's the end of the monthly messages, that would be a huge disappointment. It would also mean that we're getting much closer to the events of the chastisement. Lots of reasons to be concerned. Okay, if that's the case. We'll find out. My hunch is we're going to find out on June 25th. Okay, June 24th or June 25th, I think we're going to know more about this. Okay, so I'm just going to end with, pray and fast, right? These are traditional penances that are very powerful. Jesus taught that you can drive out demons by praying and fasting, and Mary has told us that you can stop wars through prayer and fasting. So let's do this. Let's pray and fast. It's a fasting season. Traditionally, this is a fasting season. It is the season of the Apostles' fast, so do it. Let's do this together. Let's make Mary happy. Let's pray and fast for her. And, if we can be in prayer at the time that these apparitions are going on, that would be wonderful. So that's it for now. I'm going to sign out. If I have any more updates on Medjugorje, I will be sure to let you know. That's all for now. I will see you next time.